Alright everyone, this little video we're going to be working on the motor that's going to our 72-inch sander grinder. So we're going to be taking this pulley off and then we're going to clean this motor up. And if you see right here on this, let's see if you can see this, on this belt, or this is the cord. Get it to focus here. Okay, we have some wires showing right here, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut this cord down and get it put back in there. We're just going to flush the motor out real good, make sure it's good for our sander. So we're going to be working on this motor. This is the motor I paid $25 for at a flea market. It was actually on a table saw. And sometimes it's cheaper to buy the whole table saw than it is for us to go ahead and just buy the motor. Now, a 1.5-horse motor, even if I went to Harbor Freight and picked up the motor, I'm probably going to pay close to 200 bucks. I mean, it's going to be over 100 bucks. I can guarantee you that, because just a 1 horsepower was $150 some dollars. If you use a 20% coupon, you probably end up getting out of there maybe 120, 130 bucks. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try to get this pulley off here, because we don't need the pulley. Actually, I would like to have gave this to the guy that I gave the table saw to. Now my little pulley here is not the greatest. It's missing a little tip on it, but I think we can get this pulley off. And like I said, we're just going to work on trying to get the rest of it taken apart here and cleaned up and ready for when we put it on our sander. We shouldn't have any troubles with it. What we're going to do now is we're going to try to get this wheel puller here, take this thing off. Okay, now I tried to get that pulley up off there, but it looks to me like somebody has hammered on this thing at one time. And it has a little beveled edge on there, so I gotta get that beveled edge off there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the motor on, and then we'll take a file and see if I can take that edge off there. Yeah, it looks to me like somebody tried to take that off once before. So I think I might have that edge down now. So we're going to soak this thing again. We're going to keep trying until we get this thing off. It just got stuck on there. And this puller I got's basically junk, but we're trying to use it here the best we can. The little piece that goes on the end of it, I think it got lost. Something happened to it, because it's supposed to slide on there. If I had a little center punch in there, it'd probably come off a little easier. So we're going to try this again. Oh, it might work a little easier now. Oh yeah, she's sliding by itself almost now. We can just get it up over that lip on the end, it'll be okay. Still tight right there, but I think it's going to come off. Might be a good investment for me to buy some new wheel pullers. It's coming off now. Okay, got it off. Now we'll just knock this little guy out of here and give it a punch. Grab a little punch here. Get this guy knocked out. This is that little pin. I'm just trying to get this little pin out. We'll keep the pin. We might need it. I don't know. Okay, we got the pin out now. That's two things done. Now, we're not going to need this thing. We're going to get rid of this altogether. I don't need it. If we want to put any kind of guard on this, we're going to have to build our own because we're building our own machine. So we're going to get rid of this plate. Alright, looking good so far. Okay, I got the pulley off, and now I wanted to look down inside here, and you can see all the dirt is on that fan wheel there. Not exactly how hard this thing, don't know exactly how hard it is to tear this thing completely apart and, get that all cleaned out, but I do know that we can use WD-40 and spray the whole motor out. It won't hurt it. All you gotta do is let it dry real good. So I'm gonna figure this motor out. Hopefully I don't ruin the motor. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna get an air gun and I'm gonna blow this thing off, try to get all the dust and stuff I can off of it that I can. So this is gonna be hopefully a really good motor for our sander. Alright, my next step, I just took the air gun and blew it all out the best that I could. I'm not so sure I want to tear this motor apart and clean the whole inside of it. But we're going to go ahead and work on this wire. We know this wire has to be taken out. So we'll go ahead and get these couple bolts here. And then, let's see here. We're going to get this plate off of here. This cord's not really the safest thing to have on there, so. Oh man, look how dusty that thing is. So we're gonna blow this out with the air gun too. I noticed this has a little oil plug in it too, which is pretty cool. So we could put some oil in there. I'm gonna get that blow gun. We're gonna blow all this dust out there. It's clean full. You know, this was a table saw, so it's gonna have wood dust in there. Let me get it blowed out. I'm going to turn my camera off and move it back because this dust ain't really great for the camera. Now, just to make sure I get these wires all back on here in the right place, I'm going to snap a picture of the wiring in there. So now I have a picture. I can't get them screwed up. All I have to do is pull up my picture, look at it, and now I have my wiring. So I'll know exactly where all the wiring goes on there. That makes it a lot easier for me, so I don't have to worry about knowing exactly where these go. Of course, there's only 3 wires, and of course there's a red wire in there plugged in. You got a white and a black, which won't be hard. But if you have trouble remembering where that stuff goes, a picture is always nice and short. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead, get a pair of pliers here. We're going to pull off these wires here. I've got a white one down here. And we got a black one here. And our ground is hooked right up here. Now, I was looking inside this motor and it looks really clean actually. I'll take it off and show you down inside. It doesn't look as bad as I thought it would have looked. You can see the copper in there. It's actually not too bad looking in there. I blew it out. I'm not sure that I want to take a chance on pulling it all apart. So we'll just, I think I'm going to leave it alone. I don't think I'm going to mess with it. It don't look too bad down in there. So we're going to go ahead and get this wire straightened out and get it put back on. Okay, now that we got this thing out, I looked up a couple of these little clips. I don't have them in the angle that those are, but I think I could just bend them and keep them out of the way. So we're going to try using these guys. So we'll go ahead and get this thing cut. We want to go just beyond where it's, so you can see bare wires in there, and that is the hot wire. So we're going to go ahead and snip this thing off. And we're going to strip out just about as much wire as they have on theirs there. So we'll go about right up into there. Now you want to be careful with your knife that you don't go all the way through. You just want to kind of score it and just bend your wire a little bit. And it'll finish breaking the rest of the way. We don't want to get down into the wire. Just going to get the coating off this thing. Okay, that's all garbage here. Now, we got our little pieces here. We're going to go ahead and strip them down. We're going to mount these guys on here. I hope they're heavy enough. It should be. We'll get this thing stripped down here. Just the white one and the black one have a clip on it there. If we put these down in here, we should be able to smash that down. You probably got a tool for this, but mine is a pair of needle nose pliers right now. So we got that on. That's going to hold the copper wire in. And we're going to smash this one. And all we got to do, we do the same thing on the other side as we're doing right here. And we should avoid having any bare wires sticking out there. Now, this is not, I'm not saying this is the correct way of doing it, but it's the way I'm going to do it. And it's good and tight. So once I plug that in, I'll just give these guys a little bend in whatever direction I need to bend them in, and I think they should work out just fine. We'll do the same thing on this side. This one here looks like it's been used. Let me grab another one here. I got boxes of that stuff here. This one looks a little better. Only problem with these guys, I hate that little clip in there. There's actually a little locking clip right here. I'm not crazy about that clip. I don't really want to lock them on where I can't get them off. That's a hard place to get into. We'll get this one in. We'll do the same thing with this one as we did with the other one. Okay, just taking my pliers here, and I'm going to bend these wires a little bit, these little connectors, in the direction that I need them to go in. You know, we know our black one went on the top, So we're going to get the black one set in there. Right there. Then we're going to put our white one on the bottom. Them in nice and tight. Then we're going to wrap these cords down in here. Now we noticed that they have a zip tie on the other one, so I'm going to go ahead and put a zip tie on this one where I want it to stop so it doesn't come out of this little box. Make sure it's good and tight on there. We don't want it to slip off. And we'll just nip him off. We're going to get our bolt put in here. There we go, up under here. This is our ground. Okay, now with our wires, get our wires tucked in there. This guy here don't look very tight. Okay, now we're good up to there. We should be able to start these screws here. Alright, we shouldn't have any problem with that. What we're going to do now is we're going to plug it in, make sure our motor runs, everything works like it did before. Whew. Looks good. Okay, we got our wiring fixed, we got it all blowed out pretty good, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little plug out of here. This is where the oil goes in the, this is the back of the motor, the bearing, and I have some hair clipper oil. It's almost the same as 3-in-1 oil you could use in here, and I'm going to fill this little hole up, put some oil down there, a few drops anyhow. I'm going to spin this around a little bit. Probably putting too much in there, but hey, we want it to be nice and well lubricated. We'll put our plug back in and turn her on. This is a good sounding motor. I mean, it really sounds good. So now, all I'm going to do now is I'm going to back his camera off. And we're going to get some WD-40. A little bit of WD-40. Going to wet down a rag with it. We're going to clean up the outside of the motor. Make it look a lot better. I'm sure when we start grinding, it's going to look like a mess again. But at least ways while we're building, we're going to have a nice looking motor. So this is probably going to be it to this video. If you guys that are kind of following along as I do this build, we're going to do each step, every step that I do on anything that goes on this grinder. This sander, the 72-inch sander, I'll be making a video. If you want to follow along, you can. And I'm going to do everything to the best of my knowledge. I've watched a lot of videos. on people building these sanders and stuff like that. So I'm going to use my own ideas with your ideas and make me a nice 72-inch grinder, sander, whatever they're called, so we could do some knives a lot faster and more efficient. So I'd like to tell everybody thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment if you'd like. Till next time.